Hello everyone, welcome to this channel for the last time in 2020. I really hope you're all doing well. Today I'm sharing with you some recent sketchbook work, and if you're curious about the materials I used, they will all be in the description below. Since we're nearing the end of the year, I thought it would be nice to have a chat about goals, and more specifically art-related goals. I would love it if you shared some of your creative goals for this coming year in the comments, but for now, I'll talk a bit about my own. Now, 2020 has been a very odd year in terms of everything, really, but for me, it brought a bit of a weird art journey. I went from making loads and loads of artwork each week for my 2-year-in-1 art A-level course. I'll talk more about that in a coming video, so stay tuned for that. But I basically went from spending so much time painting to just kind of not knowing what to do with my art, and it's only recently that I found my way with it again. But there are a few things that I did throughout the summer that were very enjoyable and that I would very much like to bring into the new year as well. The first one is to keep a travel journal. If you watch any of my summer vlogs, you might have seen it in those, but the one I had this year was basically just a traveler's notebook with blank pages. I brought it with me pretty much everywhere I went, and now it's about halfway full with landscape sketches of all the places I went to, and the rest of it I just ended up using to doodle and take notes in class because I just happened to have it with me. But I'd love to do something similar for 2021, this time starting it actually in January instead of July like I did for 2020. Despite that, it was still a relatively simple project, but it certainly brings back a lot of good memories. And while on the theme of memories, this year I also shot my first ever roll of film. Very exciting. I had been wanting to do that for the longest time and I loved it. The photos turned out great. I was using my dad's old film camera, and if I'm being honest, the lens that's on there is better than any other lens we own. If you know anything about photography, it's an f1.8, so it's super bright, and the photos we took at sunset and sunrise when it was still quite dark outside turned out unexpectedly wonderful. I don't think I've ever taken such good photos of the sky or generally just like night photography, so I definitely want to use that more this year. I have just loaded a new roll of film into that camera, so hopefully I'll start shooting on that soon. Moving on, these next couple of ones are a bit more specific. I would like to try out oil painting this year. I kind of wanted to last year as well, but then it didn't happen, so we're trying again this year. I need to do some more research on that first though, because I don't have a very well ventilated area to use them in, and I might end up choosing to go with water mixable oils because I've heard that since you don't need to use the typical solvents you would with traditional oils, they might be a bit more suited for like not very well ventilated areas, but again, will need to do my research on that. It's just something that I would very much like to do by the end of 2021. If you guys know me, you know that I've been working with acrylics for years and years, and I would love to see how they compare to acrylics, because something I really like about them is how quickly they dry, and so I am curious to see whether I'll even end up liking them because of how different they are. But I'll surely make a video about it, so I'll keep you updated on it. And another thing I would like to try out is sculpting. Now, pretty much all of my artwork so far has been 2D, but I think it would be very interesting to see what I can make with like clay or something like that. My boyfriend actually suggested this a few weeks ago, and I thought he was right. It's always interesting to try out new mediums and see what you can learn from them. Even if you don't end up liking them or using them ever again, there's always something new to learn from every new thing that you try out. And this would again be very different from what I've always done, and I think there's a lot that I could learn from that. So very curious to see what will come out of it. And then last but not least, I saved the more ambitious one for last, simply because it also happens to be the least clear one, like the least fleshed out, I guess. I have a pretty good idea in my head of what the project is going to be like, but I don't quite know how to explain it, so bear with me on this one. Basically, I want to do a very introspective study. I'm going to get myself an A3 sketchbook and work in a way that I think might be similar to like an A-level sketchbook. If you look for A-level sketchbook tours on YouTube, you'll find a lot, and a lot of really good ones as well. but the way that I'm kind of picturing it in my head is a whole bunch of progressively more complex and more refined studies about different subjects and different perspectives and different mediums and all of that kind of lead to a final piece. The main difference with A-level artwork is going to be that I won't be basing my work off of other artists' work or style. I just want this to be purely me. And so far I have a few elements that I would like to include in this and a few different ideas for what will be the main theme of the project, but I'll share more about that once I have a clearer idea about it myself and I know how to actually explain it properly, because I don't know whether all of this actually made any sense. For now, I just wanted to put these out into the world in hope that it will help keeping me a bit more accountable. Now, before I end this video, I also wanted to thank you for the incredible support you have given me this year. I really do wish 2021 to be a good year for you all, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!